Buckle up, because this isn't just messy, this is catastrophic. Young Jock, the jokester we all thought could laugh off anything, has finally hit his breaking point. And the reason? None other than Kendra, his wife allegedly sneaking around with Scrappy behind his back. That's right, Scrappy, his friend, his brother in the game. The one man Jock never thought he'd have to worry about. The whispers started small late-night sightings. Suspicious texts, a little too much laughter at an after-party. But when Jock walked in and allegedly caught Kendra and Scrappy red-handed, the cameras caught more than drama. They caught betrayal so raw it left the entire cast in shock. Forget loyalty, forget family, this is a scandal that could shatter marriages, friendships, and the entire Love and Hip Hop Atlanta family. And trust me, the fallout is uglier than anyone imagined. If you thought Love and Hip Hop Atlanta had already reached its peak in drama, think again. Season 13 has been serving chaos on a silver platter. But nothing could prepare fans for the ticking time bomb that just went off. Because while we've all laughed at young Jock's jokes, side-eyed his hairstyles, and watched his ups and downs with Kendra Robinson, no one ever expected the ultimate betrayal to come not from a stranger, not from some groupie, but from inside his own circle. Yes, Scrappy, his friend, his brother in this messy ATL game. It all started off deceptively calm. Cameras were rolling in Puerto Rico, where the cast had jetted off for what producers promised would be a bonding getaway. Jock was in high spirits, playing the class clown as usual, trying to keep the energy light after weeks of heavy storylines. He was cracking jokes by the pool, clowning on everyone's outfits, even raising a toast to new beginnings with Kendra by his side. On the surface, it looked like a couple on solid ground, stronger than ever after surviving rumors, blow-ups, and endless social media chatter. But what Jock didn't know was that betrayal was already brewing in the shadows. Kendra had been moving differently for weeks, and people were noticing. She was more distant, checking her phone a little too often, and slipping away from group events with vague excuses about needing me time. Jock brushed it off, telling friends she was just stressed from work. But whispers were already floating through the cast. Kendra wasn't just disappearing, she was sneaking around. And who was always conveniently missing at the same time? Scrappy. Now, Jock and Scrappy go way back. Their friendship wasn't just for TV. They've shared stages, nights out, and even leaned on each other when family drama hit too hard. Jock always described Scrappy as like a brother, and that bond made the rumors sting even harder. Because if there's one unspoken rule in Atlanta's hip-hop circles, it's this: you don't touch your brother's wife, period. The first real crack came at a cast dinner. Everyone was gathered around the table, and Jock noticed Kendra laughing a little too hard at Scrappy's jokes. Nothing out of the ordinary, at least not at first. But when her phone buzzed, she excused herself, and Scrappy followed 5 minutes later. The cameras didn't catch it, but word spread fast. Spice leaned over to Rasheeda and whispered, "Why'd they both leave at the same time?" By the time they returned, Jock was already on edge. He played it cool, masking his suspicion behind jokes, but the energy shifted. Kendra avoided eye contact. Scrappy was suddenly quieter, and Jock, he knew something wasn't right. Then came the night that changed everything. Jock, already suspicious, decided to follow his gut. After Kendra claimed she was going to bed early, Jock checked the villa cameras and noticed something off. Kendra wasn't in her room. Neither was Scrappy. According to an insider who was on set, Jock stormed down the hallway, cameras scrambling to catch up. And that's when it happened. Jock allegedly opened a door he was never supposed to open, only to find Kendra and Scrappy in a situation no married man should ever have to witness. The reaction? Nuclear.joc didn't just get mad, he exploded. Years of loyalty, trust, and brotherhood went up in smoke in an instant. He lunged, shouting, cursing, demanding answers. Producers jumped in, security rushed the room, and cast members scrambled as Jock's rage echoed through the villa. The scene was so raw, so chaotic, that insiders say VH1 debated whether they could even air it uncensored. And here's where it gets even messier. Scrappy didn't deny it, instead of defending himself. Instead of backing away, Scrappy reportedly stood his ground. He smirked, shrugged, and told Jock, "Maybe if you treated her better, she wouldn't be in here with me." That line? It was the dagger. Kendra stayed silent, eyes down, lips trembling, which only fueled Jock's fury. To him, her silence was confirmation. And to the rest of the cast, it was the moment everything changed. Friendships shattered, trust broken, and a marriage that was already fragile. Crushed in front of millions, the fallout was immediate. Rasheeda pulled Kendra aside, begging her to explain. Spice started shouting at Scrappy, accusing him of being the grimy one. Even Mendeezy shook his head, muttering that Jock didn't deserve this. But Jock, he wasn't hearing it. He stormed out, cameras chasing him into the night as he screamed that he was done with everyone. By sunrise, the entire trip had imploded. The vacation vibe was dead. The cast was divided. And producers. They knew they had struck gold even as they watched Jock's world collapse in real time. Because this wasn't just another fight. This wasn't petty shade or Instagram beef. This was betrayal at the highest level, wife and friend. And Jock's meltdown wasn't a storyline. It was heartbreak, humiliation, and rage all colliding on camera. Fans who were on set claimed the tension was so thick you could feel it in the air. Nobody wanted to eat breakfast. Nobody wanted to film, and everyone whispered about how Jock would handle the truth once the cameras stopped rolling. But here's the truth. The cameras never stopped rolling. This was just the beginning of a scandal that would consume not only Jock's marriage, but also his reputation, his friendships, and possibly his entire role on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And while Jock walked away fuming, the whispers only grew louder. Was this really a one-time betrayal? Or had Kendra and Scrappy been sneaking around for months, laughing behind his back while pretending to be loyal in front of the cameras? As the sun set on that chaotic day, one thing was clear. Young Jock had lost more than his temper. He had lost trust, respect, and maybe even the life he thought he built with Kendra. And the betrayal wasn't just personal, it was public, recorded, and about to be broadcast to millions. This wasn't the end. This was the spark that ignited the ugliest fire Jock had ever faced. And the flames. They were just starting to spread. The moment Jock stormed out of that villa, the entire trip unraveled like a thread pulled from a cheap sweater. What was supposed to be a glamorous, sun-soaked getaway for the cast turned into a battlefield of accusations, tears, and broken alliances. The cameras caught everything, every scream, every slammed door, every whispered confession. And trust me, the fallout was uglier than anyone could have scripted. First came Jock's rage spiral. He wasn't just pacing outside the villa. He was tearing through the resort like a man possessed. Producers tried to calm him down, but he shoved cameras out of his face, screaming, "Don't film me! Don't film this! Y'all set me up!" Security had to physically pull him back when he tried to re-enter the room where Scrappy and Kendra were still holed up. Jock's voice cracked with pain when he shouted, "You were my brother's Scrap. My brother." The words echoed across the pool deck, leaving even crew members stunned. Meanwhile, inside the villa, Kendra sat frozen, refusing to look anyone in the eye. Spice ripped into her, yelling, "How are you going to humiliate that man like this? Jock stood by you through everything." Rasheeda tried to play mediator, but her voice shook with disbelief. Even Carly Red, who knows betrayal like the back of her hand, was speechless and Scrappy. He acted like it was nothing. He lit up a cigar, leaned back in his chair, and told the cameras, "Man, Jock always playing like he the victim. Maybe now he see he ain't the only one with options." That one sentence was enough to send fans into overdrive. When the teaser leaked, because let's be honest, Scrappy wasn't just throwing shade. He was throwing gasoline on a fire that was already out of control. Word spread through the cast like wildfire. By the next morning, the entire group was divided. Team Jock versus Team Scrappy. Some cast members whispered that Kendra had been unhappy for months, complaining that Jock still hadn't grown up. Others said Scrappy was bitter over his own rocky relationships and used Kendra as revenge against the world. But nobody could deny the receipts. Multiple cast members claimed they had seen Kendra and Scrappy sneaking off together before, but no one dared confront them until Jock caught it himself. The drama didn't stay in Puerto Rico. Within hours, gossip blogs had the story. An anonymous production insider leaked the details to sites like The Shade Room and Gossip of the City, sparking headlines. Kendra and Scrappy caught in love triangle. Jock explodes on set. Screenshots of alleged texts between Kendra and Scrappy began circulating online. Late-night pull-up messages, heart emojis, even a blurry selfie. Twitter went ballistic. One user posted, "Not Scrappy and Kendra. Jock finna shave his head bald in stress." Another wrote, "Y'all remember when Jock said he trusted Scrappy more than most? Chili, loyalty don't exist in Atlanta." Hashtags like hashtag Scrappy snatched Kendra, hashtag Jock betrayed, and hashtag LHHATL mess trended for days. Memes flooded timelines. Jock's shocked face photoshopped onto the Maury set. Scrappy labeled the results are in. It wasn't just drama anymore, it was entertainment history in the making. But the internet's reaction was only the beginning. Behind the scenes, Jock spiraled further. He refused to film with Kendra, calling her a liar and demanding she pack her things and leave the trip. He even threatened to quit the show altogether, telling producers, "I ain't no clown. Y'all ain't gone, turn my marriage into a storyline." The irony, of course, is that it already was. Kendra tried to spin her side, but it only made things worse. In a confessional, she claimed Jock had been neglecting her emotionally. Scrappy had been someone to talk to. But when pressed about what Jock actually walked in on, she froze, fumbling her words. Fans weren't buying it. Comment sections lit up with posts like, "Girl, you don't just need someone to talk to in a hotel room at 3 a.m. and Scrappy." He leaned into the villain role. In his confessional, he smirked and said, "If Jock mad, let him be mad. That's life in Atlanta. Ain't no loyalty in this game." That line instantly became a TikTok sound, used in thousands of messy relationship videos across social media. Scrappy had turned betrayal into a brand moment, and the internet rewarded him with virality. Even as Jock's heart shattered. But the mess wasn't just between the three of them. Other cast members got dragged in. Erica Dixon, Scrappy's ex, fired off a shady Instagram story. It's funny how people forget where their loyalty should be until karma shows up. Sierra Gates posted a cryptic tweet. "Some of these men ain't friends, they frenemies. Remember that?" Even Spice hopped on live, blasting Scrappy for disrespecting Jock and dragging Kendra for betraying her vows. The cast wasn't just divided, it was at war. And then came the receipts nobody expected. A fan account claimed they had video footage of Scrappy and Kendra entering a club together weeks before Puerto Rico. The grainy clips showed two figures holding hands. And while it wasn't crystal clear, the internet didn't care. For fans, it was enough proof to declare Jock's meltdown completely justified. The pressure mounted. Jock's kids allegedly found out through social media. And one of his teenage daughters reportedly confronted him off camera, asking, "Daddy, is it true?" That emotional gut punch nearly broke him. For Jock, this wasn't just about marriage or friendship anymore, it was about his family, his kids, and his reputation as a man. Meanwhile, VH1 producers sat back and smiled. The ratings projections skyrocketed. They knew they had stumbled on gold. An insider even leaked that the network was considering expanding Season 13 with extra episodes just to capture the fallout. But with Jock threatening to walk and Kendra refusing to admit anything, producers had to play a dangerous balancing act: protect the cast or push the drama further. But here's where things got even darker. Rumors began swirling that Scrappy wasn't Kendra's first betrayal. A cast member allegedly told producers that Kendra had been entertaining another man months before, and that Jock ignored the warnings. If that rumor ever got out, it would flip the narrative entirely, painting Jock as the man who turned a blind eye until it was too late. The escalation was unstoppable. Jock versus Scrappy wasn't just personal. It became the storyline holding the season hostage. Friendships fractured, fans chose sides, and producers dangled teasers that hinted at even more betrayal yet to come. And the question everyone asked was the same. If Scrappy and Kendra could do this to Jock, what else were they hiding? By the end of the trip, Jock wasn't the same man. His jokes disappeared, his energy dimmed, and his trust in everyone, not just Kendra, not just Scrappy, was shattered. The explosion had gone off, but the aftershocks were only beginning. Because in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, betrayed just. When fans thought the Puerto Rico chaos couldn't get any wilder, producers dropped a bombshell that left everyone gasping. The shocking reveal came not from Jock, not from Scrappy, not even from Kendra, but from leaked footage that was never meant to see the light of day. And once it surfaced, it rewrote the entire narrative of betrayal, loyalty, and manipulation. The footage first appeared on a gossip blog under the headline, "Seen LHHATL Puerto Rico Tapes. The Truth About Kendra and Scrappy." At first, viewers assumed it was just clickbait. But within minutes, the video went viral because what it showed wasn't speculation, wasn't hearsay, it was undeniable proof. The grainy clip opened with Scrappy and Kendra slipping into a private cabana long after midnight. Producers claimed they had turned the cameras off for the night. But one hidden angle caught the pair whispering, laughing, and then the moment that sent shockwaves, sharing a kiss. Not a quick peck, not a friendly hug, but a lingering kiss that left zero room for doubt. The internet went berserk. Twitter timelines melted. TikTok edits racked up millions of views in hours. Jock's worst nightmare wasn't just a rumor anymore. It was reality, broadcast for the world to see. When Jock saw the footage, insiders said he collapsed in a chair, silent for nearly 10 minutes. Then came the explosion. He allegedly screamed at producers, "Y'all knew. Y'all knew this was happening, and you let me stand there like a fool." His rage wasn't just at Kendra or Scrappy anymore, it was at the show itself. He accused the network of exploiting his pain for ratings, of setting him up to look weak while everyone else laughed behind his back. Kendra's reaction was equally dramatic. She denied the footage at first, claiming it was edited and taken out of context. But the problem, fans weren't buying it. Thousands of comments flooded her Instagram with lines like, "Sis, context don't make you kiss another man." Even worse, some fans pointed out she was wearing the same outfit in the video that Jock had posted earlier that day on his stories, proving the timing was real. And then came the second bombshell. Screenshots leaked of alleged text conversations between Kendra and Scrappy, where she called Jock embarrassing and complained about him being too emotional. One line stood out. "You make me feel alive in ways Jock never did." That sentence alone was enough to ignite a social media wildfire. Joc, humiliated, confronted Kendra on camera in one of the most raw scenes of the season. His voice cracked as he asked, "So I'm just a clown to you? A placeholder? While you running around with my brother?" Kendra broke down crying, insisting it wasn't serious, that Scrappy was just a mistake. But Jock wasn't moved. He shouted, "A mistake. Don't keep happening. A mistake, don't smile in my face while stabbing me in the back." The confrontation ended with Jock storming off yet again, tossing his mic into the pool, a symbolic moment that fans declared the most powerful scene of the season. But here's the kicker. Scrappy didn't even try to deny it. In his confessional, he smirked and said, "I'm a grown man. If I want something, I go get it." Jock knew what it was. If he couldn't keep her happy, that ain't my fault. The audacity of that statement shook fans to their core. Some labeled Scrappy the ultimate villain of the season, while others bizarrely praised him for being real. Either way, he dominated the conversation. The ripple effects hit every corner of the cast. Rasheeda blasted Scrappy on live, saying, "You don't do your brother like that. You just don't." Spice said Kendra owed Jock not just an apology, but his freedom. Even Carly Red, usually knee-deep in her own drama, chimed in, "This is why loyalty don't exist in Atlanta. Everybody out here plotting, But the most shocking reaction came from Erica Dixon, Scrappy's ex. She posted a cryptic tweet. "When you know someone's true colors, it's easier to watch them burn bridges." Fans immediately speculated she had known about Scrappy and Kendra long before the footage leaked. Some even claimed she had tried to warn Jock privately, but he brushed it off as jealousy. If that's true, Jock wasn't just betrayed by Kendra and Scrappy, he ignored red flags that could have saved him months of humiliation. And the producers? Oh, they fanned the flames. The official Love and Hip Hop page posted a teaser with the caption, "Friendship shattered. Marriage broken. Betrayal caught on tape." Who do you believe? It was pure gasoline on the fire, and fans ate it up. The comments section turned into a battlefield of opinions. Some declared Jock deserved better, others called Kendra a manipulator. And a few even suggested Jock had his own skeletons that were about to surface. Because here's where the reveal got even darker. Another anonymous insider claimed Scrappy wasn't the only one Kendra had been involved with. Allegedly, a second man, someone outside the show but close to the cast, had also been in the picture. If true, it meant Kendra wasn't just betraying Jock with one man. She was playing an entire game behind his back. The reveal turned the entire season upside down. Jock, once the jokester, became the tragic figure fans rallied behind. Kendra, once praised for holding him down, became public enemy number one. And Scrappy, once loved for his charm, became the villain fans loved to hate. The fallout was massive. Jock's kids unfollowed Kendra on Instagram. Scrappy's mentions were filled with snake emojis. And Kendra went silent on social media, only to resurface days later with a cryptic post. "Sometimes people don't deserve your truth." The backlash was swift. Fans accused her of playing victim while destroying Jock's trust. And as if that wasn't enough, producers dropped yet another twist. In the reunion trailer, host Nina Parker teased, "What if I told you there's more footage we haven't shown you yet?" The cast gasped, Jock buried his face in his hands, and Kendra stormed off stage. The cliffhanger left fans counting the days until the reunion aired. At this point, it wasn't just a scandal. It was a phenomenon. Jock's meltdown, Scrappy's shamelessness, Kendra's denials, the footage, the texts, it all combined into the most explosive love and hip-hop storyline in years. Fans weren't just watching a show. They were watching a friendship die, a marriage crumble, and reputations burn in real time. And the biggest question remained, if this was the reveal in Puerto Rico, what else were producers holding back? Because in this game, every secret eventually surfaces. And when it does, it's never just shocking. It's devastating. Elle doesn't just break hearts, it reshapes the entire show. When the footage of Kendra and Scrappy hit the internet, the world didn't just react, it erupted. Fans, celebrities, bloggers, and even former Love and Hip Hop cast members turned social media into a war zone. This wasn't just another storyline. This was a cultural moment. Betrayal so outrageous it blurred the line between entertainment and reality. The public's first reaction came in waves of disbelief. Within minutes of the leaked footage dropping, Twitter X was flooded with posts like, "No way Kendra really did Jock like that." Not with Scrappy, others were harsher. Jock clowning on TV every season, but this? Nah, he didn't deserve that humiliation. The hashtag Kendra Exposed trended worldwide within hours, with over 500,000 tweets dissecting every second of the clip. TikTok was no different. Creators immediately started making side-by-side edits comparing Jock's previous confessions of love for Kendra with the footage of her and Scrappy kissing. One viral edit, soundtracked by Beyoncé's Irreplaceable, racked up 4.2 million views in 24 hours. The caption read, "To the left, Kendra. Scrappy can't even stay faithful to himself, sis. This is not it." The comment section became a battlefield, half supporting Jock, half mocking him for trusting Kendra. After all the red flags, Instagram blogs had a field day. The Shade Room posted the leaked footage with the caption, "Laud. Love and Hip Hop Puerto Rico trip looks like it was wilder than the beaches. Jock, Scrappy, and Kendra. What's really going on? Within minutes, celebrities began chiming in. Cardi B commented a simple, mute, chilly, messy 50 Cent. Never one to miss a chance to clown someone. Reposted Jock's angry outburst with the caption, "This is why you can't wife them, bro. SMH, get the strap." Even I weighed in, tweeting, "Man, Scrappy violating the code. There's rules to this friendship thing." That one tweet alone got over 200K likes, cementing the idea that Scrappy had crossed a line no one could excuse. Meanwhile, bloggers who live off love and hip-hop gossip turned into detectives. YouTube channels began uploading hour-long breakdowns of the scandal, zooming into body language, matching outfits, and analyzing past episodes for hidden clues. One blogger pulled up old footage of Scrappy and Kendra from season 12, showing how their friendly interactions suddenly looked suspicious in hindsight. The video, titled "Scrappy and Kendra," the receipts were there all along, hit 1 million views overnight. But it wasn't just the fans and bloggers. Industry insiders started whispering too. An anonymous VH1 producer speaking to a gossip site claimed the network had known about Kendra and Scrappy for months, but waited to air it when it would cause maximum chaos. Producers don't stop drama, the insider said. They bottle it until it explodes. This revelation only fueled fan anger, with many accusing the show of exploiting Jock's pain for ratings. One viral comment read, "So y'all sat on footage of this man's wife cheating just to get a season finale moment. VH1 is evil." Rappers also jumped in, adding gasoline to the fire. Lil Boosie went live on Instagram shouting, "Man, Scrappy wildin'. You don't do your dog like that, period. Jock need to beat his A on camera. I'll pay for the footage." Gucci Mane's wife, Keshia Kerr, subtweeted, "Some women don't deserve loyalty because they don't know how to give it." Fans immediately linked it to Kendra. Even outside of hip-hop, celebs chimed in. Tamar Braxton tweeted, "Ain't no way I could sit on a reunion stage after that. Jock, baby, walk away." But the wildest reaction came from Erica Dixon, Scrappy's ex and mother of his child. She didn't stay silent. On Instagram Live, she dropped a bomb. "I told y'all years ago Scrappy couldn't be trusted." And Kendra, "Baby, Jock thought she was wifey material, but she been moving shady. I'ma keep it 100. Jock deserved better." The comments exploded, with fans praising Erica for speaking her truth and calling her the only one who saw this coming. Public opinion about Kendra shifted overnight. Once seen as the loyal wife who tamed Jock's wild ways, she was now branded a manipulator and opportunist. Her Instagram was flooded with comments like, "Jock gave you everything, and this is how you repay him." And Scrappy ain't even an upgrade, sis. You downgraded hard. Kendra tried to post a cryptic story that read, "People believe what they want to believe," but it backfired. Fans screenshotted it and mocked her, saying, "We don't need to believe anything. The camera believed for us." Scrappy, on the other hand, leaned into the villain role. He posted a selfie with the caption, "Ain't worried 'bout the noise." Fans flooded his comments with snake emojis, but others weirdly praised him for being real. One fan wrote, "Messy," but at least he didn't deny it. That post alone proved just how divided the fan base was becoming. The industry, though, wasn't divided at all. Jock's peers rallied behind him. Young Miami commented under his post, "Keep your head up, King. These streets don't deserve your heart." Da Brat reposted the footage with the caption, "This one hurt to watch." Jock too good of a man for this mess. Even cast members from other franchises like Love and Hip Hop. Hollywood chimed in, with Ray J tweeting, "Brr, I thought my marriage drama was messy." Jock's situation just took the crown, and then came the memes. Oh, the memes. Jock's meltdown was clipped, remixed, and turned into TikTok sounds within hours. One viral meme showed Jock yelling betrayal, while the screen flashed like a soap opera trailer. Another compared Jock's face to a disappointed father at a spelling bee. As cruel as some were, others genuinely rallied behind him. Memes with captions like "Protect Jock at all costs" gained traction, turning him into a sympathetic hero in the chaos. But beyond the jokes and hot takes, there was a serious undertone. Fans began questioning the moral cost of the show. One viral thread read, "How much trauma are we willing to watch for entertainment? Jock's kids will see this. His family will live with this. All 4 ratings. Is love and hip-hop crossing a line?" That post sparked a wider conversation about reality TV's responsibility to its cast. Members. Yet, for all the moral debates, the scandal only boosted ratings. Insiders revealed the episode with Jock's meltdown pulled in the highest numbers the franchise had seen in 3 years. Drama sells, one producer admitted anonymously. And this was gold. Still, the biggest question hanging in the air wasn't about fans or ratings. It was about Jock himself. Could he forgive Kendra? Could he ever look Scrappy in the eye again? And most importantly, could he survive the humiliation of having his heartbreak turned into a global spectacle? Because if the public and industry reactions proved anything, it's that Jock wasn't just another love and hip-hop storyline. He was now the centerpiece of a betrayal that had everyone talking. And the reunion. Fans already knew it would be the most explosive in franchise history. If you thought the public chaos was wild, the behind-the-scenes fallout made it clear this wasn't just another love and hip-hop storyline. This was real damage. Friendships broken, marriages hanging by a thread, and cast members picking sides in a war that threatened to split the show down the middle. The first ripple hit Jock and Kendra's home. Insiders claim that after the Puerto Rico trip, Jock packed his bags and left their shared house. Friends close to the couple said he was done being embarrassed and told Kendra he needed space. But space quickly turned into silence. Jock allegedly blocked her number for days, ignoring her calls, texts, and even attempts to reach him through mutual friends. Kendra, on the other hand, tried to spin it as a misunderstanding blown out of proportion by producers. But no amount of excuses could erase the footage that had gone viral. Even Jock's kids got dragged into the mess. Sources revealed some of them unfollowed Kendra on Instagram, while others publicly showed support for their dad. One of Jock's older sons allegedly told producers off camera, "We've been telling him she wasn't it." Now the world sees it too. That statement spread quickly through fan pages, fueling the narrative that Jock's family had never fully trusted Kendra to begin with. Meanwhile, Scrappy's world wasn't any calmer. Erica Dixon, his ex, and the mother of his child reportedly laid into him privately, blasting him for humiliating Jock and dragging their daughter into fresh drama. One source claimed she told him, "You already embarrass yourself enough. Don't drag our kid into your mess." Scrappy, however, remained unbothered in public, continuing to post selfies and cryptic captions like real ones know what's up. But behind closed doors, even his friends were questioning him. Lil Bankhead, a DJ close to both Jock and Scrappy, hinted on radio that Scrappy broke the man code, and he knows it. Other Atlanta rappers stopped publicly showing him love, worried about being tied to the scandal. His reputation as the jokey, lovable Prince of the South was being replaced with something darker. The untrustworthy friend. And then there was Rasheeda. Poor Rasheeda. Once again dragged into Kirk's orbit of scandal, she found herself stuck in the middle of Jock and Scrappy's war. Fans noticed her silence on Instagram, but insiders revealed she wasn't silent at all behind the scenes. According to one crew member, Rasheeda confronted Kendra directly, telling her, "You knew exactly what you were doing. And now Jock looks like a fool." She reportedly also blasted Scrappy off camera, saying, "Men like you are the reason Atlanta women don't trust nobody." The love and hip-hop producers, of course, were eating this up. But they also faced a real problem. The cast was splitting into factions. On one side, Team Jock, with Rasheeda, Spice, Carly Red, and even Yandi backing him. On the other, a much smaller Team Scrappy, mostly held up by those who believed Jock was overreacting or just didn't want to get dragged into the fire. The reunion, according to insiders, was already shaping up to be a battlefield before filming even began. But the ugliest fallout wasn't on set. It was online. Kendra's law career came under attack as fans began tagging her professional accounts with snake emojis, demanding she be disbarred for lying on national TV. Scrappy's music streams dropped, with fans spamming his Spotify with comments like, "This man raps about loyalty but cheats his friends." Even Jock, despite being the victim, wasn't completely spared. Some trolls mocked him for being the clown of the franchise, saying he always ends up humiliated no matter what. Financial fallout loomed, too. Rumors swirled that Jock had pulled out of multiple club hosting gigs, embarrassed to show his face while the scandal was fresh. Kendra reportedly lost at least one endorsement deal tied to a hair brand that didn't. Want to be linked to toxic cheating drama? Scrappy, meanwhile, saw a bump in streams for a week, fueled by curiosity. But it wasn't the kind of attention that builds long-term respect. The industry chatter was just as brutal. Word around Atlanta was that Jock's humiliation had actually boosted his public sympathy, with promoters saying fans wanted to see him win again. But Scrappy? His phone wasn't ringing as much. According to one promoter, nobody wants the dude who backstabs his friends on their stage. Bad optics. And here's where the fallout took its darkest turn. An anonymous insider leaked that Jock had begun talking to lawyers, not just divorce lawyers, but potentially suing VH1 for how they handled the situation. The claim was that producers sat on the footage, waiting for the most explosive moment rather than telling him the truth up front. If Jock pushes forward with legal action, scandal could turn into a courtroom war between a star and the network itself. Meanwhile, whispers spread that Kendra wasn't done fighting either. Rumor has it she threatened to expose other cast members' secrets if they kept dragging her. One insider quoted her saying, "If I go down, I'm not going alone. That threat alone has everyone on edge." With fans speculating about who she might expose, the biggest question, though, was Jock himself. Would he forgive Kendra? Could he rebuild his friendship with Scrappy? Or was this the final straw that pushed him to reinvent himself entirely outside of love and hip-hop? Some insiders say Jock told producers off camera, "I'm tired of being the clown. Next season, y'all gon' see a different me." That single statement sparked fan theories that Jock might come back harder, colder, and ready to burn bridges instead of rebuilding them. At this point, the fallout wasn't just about a kiss in Puerto Rico. It was about trust shattered on every level, personal, professional, and public. Jock lost his wife, his brotherhood, and a chunk of his dignity. Scrappy lost his credibility. Kendra lost her reputation. And Rasheeda once again lost her patience. But as messy as it already was, everyone knew the real explosion was still to come. The reunion. The producers were teasing never-before-seen footage. Kendra was reportedly refusing to sit next to Jock, and Scrappy was promising he had his own receipts. If the fallout in private was this toxic, then the reunion stage was about to become a war zone. If you thought the Puerto Rico showdown was the peak of the drama, think again, because the final twist left jaws on the floor and set the stage for a reunion that could go down as the most explosive in love and hip-hop history. The reunion teaser dropped late at night like a bomb. The trailer opened with Jock sitting stone-faced, eyes red, refusing to even glance at Kendra. Scrappy leaned back in his chair with that smug grin while Kendra shifted nervously, clutching tissues. But it wasn't the silence that shocked fans. It was the host's words. Nina Parker leaned forward and said, "What if I told you there's unseen footage we haven't shown you yet?" The cast gasped. Rasheeda's hand shot to her mouth. Carly Red screamed, "What?" And Jock buried his face in his hands. Fans watching the teaser replayed that moment 100 times. Convinced the footage Nina teased wasn't just another kiss, it was something much worse. And then, just when the screen faded to black, VH1 dropped the cliffhanger. A blurred clip no more than 3 seconds long, showing Kendra entering Scrappy's hotel room late at night. The door closed behind her. The audio, just a single line, Jock's voice trembling with rage, shouting, "So it's true. This is what y'all been doing." The teaser ended there, leaving fans screaming at their screens. The internet went feral. Hashtags like hashtag JOCVs, Scrappy, hashtag KendraGate, and hashtag unseen footage dominated social media. One fan tweeted, "If that door closed, it's over. Jock better serve divorce papers on stage." Another wrote, "Scrappy smiling like he proud. Disgusting. Reunion, finna be war." TikTok exploded with theories, edits, and even fake leaked reunion clips that only made fans hungrier for the truth. But the cliffhanger didn't stop with the footage. According to insider leaks, Jock wasn't the only one with receipts. Scrappy allegedly arrived at the reunion with his own folder of evidence. Rumor has it he was ready to expose Kendra even further, not just for what happened in Puerto Rico, but for alleged conversations she had with other men in Atlanta. If true, that means Scrappy wasn't just Jock's enemy, he was preparing to burn Kendra too. And then came the wildest whisper of all. Producers reportedly told Kendra off camera that another man, someone outside the show, had come forward claiming he was also romantically involved with her. If that's true, the reunion isn't just Jock versus Scrappy versus Kendra. It's Jock realizing his marriage was built on secrets so deep they make Puerto Rico look like child's play. The final twist? Jock's shocking words in the teaser. In the last 5 seconds, after Nina teased the unseen footage, Jock looked up, voice cold and broken, and said, "After tonight, I don't got a wife. I don't got a brother. I don't got nothing but the truth." The camera zoomed in on Kendra sobbing, Scrappy smirking, and Rasheeda shaking her head like she'd just watched the end of a friendship and a marriage. The end of a friendship and a marriage. Fans couldn't believe it. Instagram comments lit up with lines like, "Jock officially done. Reunion gonna end marriages and friendships on live TV." Blogs posted countdowns to the reunion airing. Even celebrities teased they'd be watching live. Cardi B tweeted, "This reunion gonna be crazier than the Super Bowl." And here's the scariest part. Insiders say Jock's final mic drop moment wasn't even the true ending. Apparently, production has one more card to play, footage that hasn't leaked, hasn't been teased, and could destroy what little is left of Kendra and Scrappy's reputations. One producer allegedly told a friend, "The audience thinks they've seen the scandal. They haven't. The real bomb drops at the reunion, so now everything hangs in the balance." Jock, humiliated but unbroken, preparing to cut ties with both Kendra and Scrappy. Kendra scrambling to salvage her image but knowing every tear will be dissected by millions. Scrappy thriving in the villain role, smirking as if he's untouchable. And the fans, waiting for the reunion like it's Judgment Day. Because in the world of love and hip-hop, nothing stays hidden forever. And when those unseen receipts finally hit the stage, one thing is certain: somebody's legacy will be destroyed forever. And just like that, the cliffhanger was locked in. Puerto Rico wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. And there it is. Family, the Puerto Rico trip that went from beaches and cocktails to betrayal and heartbreak. Ending with a cliffhanger that's going to live rent-free in our heads until the reunion explodes on TV. But now, the ball's in your court. Do you think Kendra really crossed the line with Scrappy? Or is Jock letting whispers and paranoia push him over the edge? Was Scrappy being a snake from day one? Or is there another twist we haven't seen yet? And seriously, what does that unseen footage really show? Drop your wildest theories in the comments. I'll be reading every single one because y'all's takes are always better than the show itself. Smash that like button if you think Jock deserves the truth. Subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss the receipts when they drop. Share this with your messy group chats because trust me, the reunion is going to be war.